team and all that good stuff. One seed versus the 3 seed. Villa Sensor from Pomona. He'll be in the red ankle band.
Ignasio Villa is a freshman out of Pomona, Colorado. This year's overall record, 24 wins and 1 loss. This year's tournament accomplishments include 3rd at the Ironman, bronze medal at the U17 World Championships, Pan Am champion, freestyle, and Greco. He's head coach Sam Federico, assistant coaches Kelly Clarity, Ben Barrows. Parents Vic and Nicole Villasenor. Our city Kikanu is a freshman at Poway High School. His record is 15-1. This year's accomplishments include 5-0 at the Hall of Fame duels. He is also a U.S. division. 2-point takedown, Villasenor. His coach is John Myers.
Sorry about the dead air there. We're fixing a little technical difficulty with the scoreboard. We're aware the scoreboard's not showing. Give us a few, we'll take care of it along the way.
First points on the board, though, 2-0. Just so everybody's aware. About 45 seconds left in the first period.
After the first period, Villasenor leads 2-0.
Kikano having choice for the second period. Correction. Villasenor having a choice.
As a reminder, the snack bar is open. We still have tri-tip, hot dogs, and there are...
You know, that's the only bad part about announcing sometimes. You know, we're also producing the tournament as well. So we are aware that the scoreboard's not showing. We'll talk about it over the time. It's a 3-0 lead here for Ignacio.
We'd also like to thank Resolite for the 54-foot mat for the finals.
Yeah, that was just announced to the crowd. We're not going to see too many whistles today. It's a true 40-foot circle. It's a 54 by 54 mat.
Lots of space to wrestle on, right?
Yeah, and it helps the wrestlers as well. They get into a flow and get into a rhythm. Ooh, a nice little shot there by Ignacio. Kikanu had a great semis match. You know, obviously he's the younger one. His brother's the senior, but they came in from Belarus.
Yeah, he sure did light it up during semis.
He really did. He's currently down 3-0. In a little bit of a swing low position here with the underhooks.
Ignacio's now taking 3 shots in the last 2 periods here. Still on the aggressive attack.
Switches up to a collar tie. Look at those heavy hands.
Boy. 15 seconds.
15 to go in the first. 3-0 lead for Villa Sensor.
4, 3,
The towel tapper having a little bit of fun there.
3-0.
All right, 3-0. Kikanu's got to get off the bottom for sure to get this thing going.
Down to start the third
Ignasio
period.
doing a good job just keeping the heat last 2 periods.
Back to a deep, tight waist spiral. Switches off to the tight waist half. Looking to get pressure forward. Kikanu up to his feet.
Oh,
1:35 to go. Coach Myers looking for a stall call there. There was no return attempt is what he was saying when Kikanu got up to his feet. But he had a tight waist half. Circled off to the side, got a nice little mat return. And again, look how deep that tight waist is.
yeah. It's almost like a seatbelt clamping on, not letting go.
1:10 to go in the period. Again, we're in the third.
One minute remaining.
It's impressive with Ignasio, just that chest pressure and just holding down Kikanu like that, you know, as far as on his belly. Here you got 2 top kids and both fighting,
30 seconds.
but yet just the strength and the power from Ignasio.
30 to go. 3-0 lead for Ignasio Villa center. Pomona, Colorado. He takes a quick peek at the clock. He sees he's got 15 to go. He's got a 3-0 lead. Again, sorry about the scoreboard. We're going to get that work on as we speak.
And here's our first cowboy hat.
That's going to do it. Your champion at 109 pounds from Pomona, Colorado, Ignasio Villasenor.
Up next at 218 pounds, wrestling out of the right corner, from New York, Cody Merrill. And wrestling out of the green corner, from Poway, Robert Pratt.
Here we go. A matchup against 2 California kids. Robert Platt from Poway, currently ranked number 1, taking on the number 2 ranked kid in the state from JW North, Cody Merrill.
Cody Merrill is a sophomore out of JD.
Lots of clubbing going on. Yep.
Referee going to stop it right away. Going to come up, talk to him. Platt, the returning state champ. Cody Merrill took second last year in the state. Little slide by.
Accomplishments include first in the league, first in the section, and second in state. He is coached by head coach Harlan Fisher Jr., also assisted by Coach John and Coach Daniel. Robert Platt is a senior out of Poway High School. Current record 8-0. Last year's record 42 wins and 2 losses. This year's tournament accomplishments include the Doc Buchanan Finals and undefeated at the Olympic
Guys, after this match, those of you on the live stream, we're going to have a small little interruption. We're going to reset something here on our end so the scoreboard can show. As of right now, we're 0-0. 1 minute to go in the first.
Merill defers. Platt chooses down to start the second period.
Oh. Wow. Quickness on that. Blood time.
Well, that's the break I think we needed. We had to reset a little bit of seeing it for you guys at home. Scoreboard should be visible now. Apologize about that little hiccup we got here.
But, you know, Brian, that's why they have you here, you know, as far as having the ins and outs, as far as everything from technology, hardware, software. You made it look so easy. A couple clicks here, a couple clicks there, boom, boom, here we go. Now the score's displayed.
Well, we're trying, you know.
Trying.
Sometimes you just got to do a simple little reset, and we'll get rolling, right?
Well, for our audience, right now it's 2-1. Second period, minute and 24 seconds. Cody Merrill leading over Platt. You know, as Platt was out there from the start, Brian, I was thinking, okay, who do you think his coach is as far as his upper weight coach for Platt over that Poway room?
Maybe a couple national champs.
Yeah.
Cody Merrill with a nice little single leg, trying to finish it here on this huge mat. Readjusts, gets his hips underneath him, elevates, shows his strength. Great split leg defense there.
He's trying to pull him in.
Don't turn away.
Impressive.
Oh, what a wonderful scramble there.
Yes.
Cody Merrill got on the single leg, elevated it. We're going to get a little bit of blood time. Those of you watching, if you watch the semis, Merill took a nice little shot to the face, and he's had some nosebleeds the rest of the semis. But that little transition was phenomenal.
It's amazing how these guys can move like that, huh?
You know, the elevation, the sheer brute power. But you saw the adjustment, not only from the single leg, but he readjusted his locks. He pulled it in. He squared his hips, got his hips underneath it, elevated it. But then on the other side, Platt does an amazing job staying vertical. And as soon as he gets to the ground, hits that little split leg defense. He started to turn away, and then he's like, nah, I can't give up the points at the edge.
Just under a minute here for a second period.
We're tied at 2. You know, it's always great when you get you're running the production here on this side, and you get to see the wrestling live. And as we go right back to that action from Merill, he's so fast. As a sophomore at this weight.
Looks like he works out in the weight room quite a bit, too.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just under 10 seconds here.
You know, Platt, a state champ last year for Brawley, California.
And we're all tied up heading into the third and final
Now at Poway, looking to get that cowboy hat here.
Merill
Again, number
chooses
1
down
ranked
to
kid in the
start
state,
third
number
period.
2 ranked kid in the state, battling out the Doc B Finals.
Brian, do you think they might get a chance to face each other next week?
We get the escape there from Merill.
Escape, Merill.
Takes the 3-2 lead. I'm not sure of the team list. You know, I've been out of town traveling myself. I'm not sure if Poway's going to be there. I know JW North will be there, but I'm assuming Poway will be there. This might be a rematch next week in the finals. But right now, Doc B.
Yeah.
Put that cowboy hat on.
Yep, for sure.
Merill really active with his hands, heavy hands. He can change levels and angles.
Oh.
Little snatch single by Platt, trying to switch off to the double. He's got his head on the inside, hands locked on the single leg. Merill doing a great job with that nice little crotch ride, pulls it in tight. He stopped that first move offense. Stalemate here.
Yep.
Cody Merrill did something, or Kobe, excuse me, did something great. Got that ankle snatched up. He reached up, he closed his hips on the inside, he locked his hands around the crotch. He was working for the stalemate there. No other option than to get that stalemate. Platt with a high C. Another slide by, staying active. 35 to go in the period.
30 seconds remaining.
Yep, and there's the call. That's the product of a large mat.
Yeah.
You know, having a 40-inch, or excuse me, a 40-foot circle, the stall call is on Merill. He backed out of bounds. Referees are well aware of the size of this mat, and it makes the wrestlers be aggressive and to stay in bounds. 12 to go. 1 point lead for Merill. Another shot attempt by Platt. Little peek out, 5 to go. That's gonna do it. The number 2 ranked kid in the state of California, and your winner, Doc beat champion at 218 pounds from JW North, Cody Merrill.
Very impressive.
Platt made that really interesting at the end. He stayed on it, got towards the edge, got the stall call.
Arsenic Kikanu, please report to the medal stand.
We go to a little bit of a break here. They do the medals along the way. So
At 109 pounds in
they're doing the medals for 109 pounds right now behind us. Hey, quick shout out to everybody who just sent the messages saying that they can see the scoreboard. You know, Coach Keesaw sent me a nice little text message, told me to tell the voice, blast double. But thank you so much for all those comments, those of you watching on Flow.
In 5th place from Slam Academy, Nevada, Josiah Maestas.
You know, every year that 106 pound and now 109 pounds with the allowance here at Clovis, you see a lot of underclassmen. But lately starting to see the juniors and stay at that weight and to be a more competitive division along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
You know, I remember last year, I think it was Rockland Zinkin down at threes in the tournament.
Yep.
We're going to get our camera guy to kind of show. We're going to give it a shot.
There's that cowboy hat we're talking about, right?
Yeah, there it is, that big old symbol. There's your medalist at 109 pounds. Moving on up to 116 pounds coming up here. Another matchup of California top placers here. We're going to have Ronnie Ramirez of Walnut, currently ranked number 1 in the state. You're a returning state champion here in California. You're going to be taking on Edwin Sierra of Poway, the Stanford commit, over in your neck of the woods, theoretically.
Yeah. Yeah. Got a couple of Stanford kids that'll be in tonight's finals, right? Edwin being one of them, and EJ Parco the other.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You know, Ronnie Ramirez, a two-time finalist, took second 2 years ago and then stepped up on the podium to be the champion last year. They're both going to be in their white. Sierra's going to be in the green ankle band from Poway. Ramirez in red.
Edwin Sierra is a junior out of Poway High School. This year's overall record, 20 wins and 1 loss.
Again, 5 for Poway here in the finals.
Champion and Newberry Park champion. He has finished 4th at the Doc B, 3rd at Reno TOC. He is a Pan Am champ.
You know, over the years watching Ronnie wrestle, he's very relaxed in every position. You know, he almost, not lethargic, that's not the word I'm looking for, but he just looks very calm, collected.
Yeah.
Ramirez currently ranked 1 in the state. Edwin Sierra currently ranked number 3 in the state.
Last year's record, 46 wins and 1 loss.
Shout out to that ranker, you know.
Yep.
Gotta love Mr. Joe.
Does a really good job.
Dude, he works his tail off.
He's got every statistic on practically every kid in the state of California, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As well as maybe across the country.
He really does. And he's extremely accurate.
Parents Jennifer and Camilo Ramirez. All 218 pound
The level change, the angle change. It's different seeing Poway in a white singlet. You know, you're so used to the green with the POW on the back.
Yeah.
Changing up. Look at the fluidity there, you know, the motion, the snap. Ronnie Ramirez just has this calmness about him. Every match I watch this guy, he's been to the top. You know, he's been to the state finals the last 2 years.
He definitely knows what it takes. Whether on the attack or countering, like you said, just calm and collective.
Ramirez chooses down to start the second period.
Move on to the second. No score. Ramirez quickly up to his feet. Almost in that quad pod. Return attempt. Sierra lets him go there. Give the escape. Did not want to get called for the stall call. Ramirez worked, got up to his feet, gets the escape, takes a 1-0 lead. Oh, nice little shot attempt to no avail, and a nice little go behind by Ramirez, and he takes the lead 3-0. Sierra was a little bit too far away from that.
Yeah, and he's had his head down too as he shot in, kind of. But
right, coming right at you at the camera.
110.
Hey, we got a whistle actually wrestling off the edge of the mat without a stall call. It's very difficult to show this on camera, guys. It's a true 40-foot circle. It's a 54 by 54 foot mat. There's lots and lots of room out there. Sierra controlling that wrist on the ankle into a nice little chop, takedown, right turn back to the mat. And now we're in a crossbody leg ride for Sierra. My apologies, Ramirez. The technique of Sierra being able to sit to that hip, not allow that leg ride to put pressure on the hips, reaching up, grabbing that cross, and he gets a stalemate.
31 seconds remaining in the second period.
Sierra up to his feet. 25 to go in the period. Ramirez got to be careful here. He's got to return him to the mat. Nice little hip heist out for Sierra.
Sierra.
Cuts that lead to 3-1 with 10 seconds to go in the period.
10 seconds.
You know, it's almost as if Ramirez is waiting to see what Sierra is going to do to either counter or attack again, you know.
Well, we're in the third now. He's got to get on that, got to get on the offense.
Yep.
Sierra's going to be down. Ramirez using that tight waist to set the leg. It was almost like a spiral tight waist, sets that leg, steps over. Still not deep, not a true high thigh. He's got that cross-body ride. He does a couple things from there. Like, he almost setting up a banana split there. In the quarters, he hit that guillotine out of bounds. 1:30 to go. Official peeks in, says get to work down on bottom. And again, we get another stalemate.
Yeah, I just glanced up our official, Kenny Goodrue, state champ out of Bella Vista back in the 1980s. Somebody giving back to the sport there, huh?
You know, he does a lot of college stuff too.
Yes.
He's out there officiating. Again, same situation as at the end of the last period. Sierra does a great job clearing those hands, clears those hips, hip heists out. Now we're in a 1-point match with 1 minute to go in the third.
1 minute remaining in the match.
Number 1 versus number 3 in California. Ramirez with a 1-point lead. Again, right back to the body fakes. Changing levels, changing angles. You're right, though. Sierra's waiting to counter, but he's going to need the takedown here.
Okay, he's got to get his offense going here in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
No warnings, no stall calls yet. Ramirez putting his back to the center. 15 to go. Sierra's really got to move now. Slide by attempt by Ramirez.
10 seconds.
Lots of pushing, but
Oh, and there's the stall call.
Stalling warning on Ramirez.
5 seconds to go. That's going to do it. Your cowboy hat champion, your Doc Beat champ at 116 pounds from Walnut High School, Ronnie Ramirez.
good match.
All 218-pound medalists, please come to the medal stand now.
We're going to move up a weight class, a couple weight classes. We're going to move up to 193 pounds. A couple of the big boys coming up. Again, we appreciate you all out there watching on Flow. My partner, my crime de boss.
It's always a pleasure sitting here next to you or even just chit-chatting and talking about wrestling, Brian.
You know, and you're always so gracious when we come up and, you know, you put me onto a few spots up here in Fresno. You know, I know when you come down to my neck of the woods and you're going to be down there next week, you know, well, it's a camaraderie.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
At 218 pounds, finishing in 8th place.
Except for next week, you know, you're on the PA. We get to hear that big booming voice.
In 7th place from Fountain Valley, Ryland Whitworth.
I always look forward to the tournament down there. You guys do a fantastic job and what you guys started and how what it's come now. And that big old belt that you guys give out, those kids love that belt.
They do, but this cowboy hat is
Yeah.
prestigious. So unbelievably prestigious.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, the history behind the cowboy hat is the original superintendent of Clovis Unified is a gentleman named Doc Buchanan. It was actually his name, Doc Buchanan, and he wore a cowboy hat to work every single day. And so obviously that hat tradition has led to here, as you see here, the finals, the champion receiving a hat. That's in memory of Doc Buchanan.
It's a great feat to do, and at such a true invitational. You know, I know Tierpelli and Schaefer, you know, Gabe and Adam, they've continued the legacy that Steve Tierpelli has done, and it's coveted. You know, to be able to walk around, whether you're at a tournament, you know, whether you're bragging, you know, it's not bragging if you can do it.
Yeah.
And if you're wearing a cowboy hat, and, you know, I know we were chatting earlier on Friday, yesterday, and seeing a couple of the cowboy hats just kind of floating around.
Yep.
There was a couple in the pictures sitting on the side. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
You have to go to war, and you got to go through the gauntlet to be able to get a cowboy hat.
Yes. Yes. And I'm sure the cowboy hat is known across the country. You know, that's why they're attracting these teams from St. Ed, Ohio, or teams from Pomona, Colorado and stuff. So these out-of-state teams know about this cowboy hat too.
And again, like we said earlier, 6 states, you know, and obviously California, but, you know, Colorado and a team from Georgia came out, and we got a couple schools from Utah. You know, Oklahoma is representative. You know, Ohio with St. Ed's. The team race, you know, Poway, it's deep. It's really, really, really deep.
Yeah, it sure is. What, they have 120 schools represented?
Yeah, 122, I think.
122.
You know, now we got Utah. Here comes Pleasant Grove with Travian Gates. And he's taking on Sonny Kling of Canyon Springs. All right, here we go. 100 and,
wow.
Right off the bat, gets the takedown, redrop. Still no points. My apologies. I said that there was a takedown. Oh. Sonny Kling's in a Merill position here.
Wrong leg in.
He's got to get that left hand underneath the arm, though.
There it is.
And there's the 2. Sonny Kling currently ranked number 1 in the state of California at a Canyon Springs High School. 2-time finalist already at the state level. He's taken second both years. Travian Gates out of Pleasant Grove, Utah.
He is a 2-time CIF champion, 2-time Southern Section Masters champion.
Kling's very comfortable here on with both the leg on the inside there, and he elevates it. He gets out in front often, but his speed and his quickness can readjust. And as we say that, Travian comes up to the tripod, throws in that leg, and he's got that cradle locked up.
Oh, boy.
The cradle is locked.
Got to adjust.
He readjusts the hips, and now he's getting some swipes there, Anthony.
He's got plenty of time, too. 45 seconds left to adjust a little bit more. Got bottom knee.
He's got 3 in the bank. Still has it locked, breaks the lock, and gets the 3 near fall to go up 5-0.
He's going to go back to it again. Oh.
30 seconds.
Impressive.
And here's the versatility. You know, he's so versatile on top here. You know, now he's got a bar half. Oh. You know, they have a thankless job. But from our vantage point, there was no potentially there. But you're always going to err on the side of caution. The crowd doesn't like it. It was right here in front. You saw it as well. But the fact of the matter is we got a whistle, and we're going to go back to work. Here's what I'm talking about. Sonny likes to come out in front on the side, but he's got the quickness and the heavy hips and the chest to be able to get back and control that.
Absolutely. He's got a nice, comfortable lead going to second period.
Yeah, but that turn was huge. He had set that up. He spiral cut, set that leg on the inside, went straight to that crossbody bar ride, turned that half, and they called it potentially dangerous.
Kling defers.
I don't know. You know, I'm going to go back and watch that to see how close it was on the potentially dangerous. But again, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Now we're in the second. Gates on a quick shot. Kling sits him to a hip. Gates looking to switch off from the single to the double. Pulls up the single leg. Reattacks the hip, and he gets the 2.
2-point takedown, Gates.
Let's see what Gates can do on top here.
116-pound medalist. Please report to the medal stand now.
Feels comfortable on his feet, I guess, huh?
you know, for the weight class, you know, being up at 190 pounds. Both these guys are looking great shape. Extremely fast. And there's a little outside sweep single for Kling. Shin whizzer for Gates.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Still no points here. And he gives it to you. I'm not sure what changed there, Anthony, but he's got that body ride.
I think you're looking for a stalemate, yeah.
Stalemate.
8-2.
You know, we had mentioned it a little bit earlier with lower weights with Ronnie, but Sonny looks really relaxed.
Yeah.
Very comfortable at the weight. Doesn't look like he's cutting anything. I could be way wrong. You know, I mean, I'll talk to Coach Diaz and Coach, Jason over there at Canyon Springs. Little Granby attempt, catches the leg.
30 seconds.
Now Kling's on his own shin whizzer. The defense. He's funky here. He'll sometimes step over it and grab that ankle. Gates doing a great job to elevate it. Gets him up. Reattacks that lock. Kling crashes. Gets that lock in the crotch. Still no points. Oh, and he gives the 2. It's the announcer jinx.
Yeah. 8-4.
8-4. And we're going to have some blood time here for Sonny Kling.
All 116-pound medalists, please.
You know, I thought Sonny was going to do what he normally does there. Obviously, Gates a high-level wrestler, but Kling got caught on his butt, and what he likes to do is he likes to crash those hips and reach into the crotch, have that lock, and pull it tight to get that stalemate. He got caught out of position, and he's going to do what he can to stay super tight. And as soon as he stayed super tight, Gates reached that arm out, got it out around the hip, secured the takedown.
Yeah. It was interesting, though, how, like you said, Sonny gave up his hips when he was, when Gates was under that double, you know, and like I said, he came down to his butt, as we all saw and witnessed. But I guess he must feel comfortable in that position where he can score, and he's done it before, right?
Gates going to put him on his feet. 9-4 as we start the third. Shot attempt by Gates. Right back to that single. And again, Sonny is extreme. If you've never seen Sonny Kling wrestle, he's very comfortable on his feet. He's got that funk.
Yep. Yep. Uses his hips a lot, right?
You know, he was out at Palm Desert, 2 years ago, working with that jiu-jitsu stuff and the judo classes out there with Coach Montanona. And now he's in on a single leg, trying to pick it up, elevate it. He's got that bottom leg trap and secures another takedown to go up 11-4. That cross training, we're seeing obviously a lot more. We see it in the MMA, but be able to have that jiu-jitsu and the judo stuff. Just put yourself in any position with the repertoire. Now he's back to that leg ride in that half that we got the potentially dangerous last time. And he's getting swiped, and that's tight.
Wow.
We can't see it from here. We're kind of obscured by Sonny Kling, but he's got 3 near fall. He's looking for the fall to get that cowboy hat.
Lots of time left, too.
Gonna readjust. He's staying square. Comes out to the side, secures that head, and that's tight there, Anthony.
Wow, sure was.
There's the fall. Your champion at 193 pounds from Canyon Springs High School, Sonny Kling.
193 pounds from Canyon Springs, Sonny Kling. All 116-pound medalists, please come to the medal stand now.
Impressive performance by Sonny.
As I say, a very good match.
You know, Gates coming all the way out here from Utah, coming down, making the finals. Probably not what he wanted. He wanted that title. But a great little tournament for Pleasant Grove. This next match for you viewers, we're going to move on up to, back down to 123 pounds. Our returning champion from Gilroy, Moses Mendoza. He's going to take on, 2-time state finalist and champ Isaiah Quintero. of El Dorado. Very controversial match last year at the state, you know, with that minute and 35 ride out.
In sixth place from Canyon Springs, Max Murillo.
It's so cool. I mean, I know it's behind us, but you guys are seeing it on the camera. It's just super fun as a fan of wrestling to look at that podium, to have that banner behind them, and that picture's going to last forever.
Yeah.
You know, to be a place winner in this tournament is theoretically an All-American.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I know Reno TOC calls it the, you know, All-American when you get that, but this is one of those tournaments in the country that is a true invitational. There's criteria for you and your team to be in this.
Yeah.
It's such a solid field, and to be able to stand on that podium with that nice medal around your neck, or, you know, if you're the champion, to be able to have that that cowboy hat, a true honor.
Yeah. You know, and Brian, you mentioned invitational, being invited. Yesterday I ran into a coach a little bit bummed and upset that his wrestler that he brought went 0-2. And I said, hey, you got nothing to be ashamed of. At least you were invited. You know, you have to be invited to come to this tournament. I said, I'm sure you guys will be back as far as on the podium when it comes to February, the state championships of California. But, you know, even if you didn't place here at this tournament, it's still just to be invited to something to be participating in this thing.
For sure. You know, Adam Tirapelli, I'm sure he's got, and Gabe Schaefer got that terrible feeling to look at a team and say, hey, sorry, you can't come this year. You know, you didn't have any place winners last year or whatever. You know, that's on them. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is for the teams that do come, like how important it is in recognition. Whether you're 0-2, you're here.
Yeah.
Got to work a little bit harder.
Right.
It's the Doc B.
Yes, it is.
Here we go, returning champ, Moses Mendoza.
Moses Mendoza is a sophomore.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is Gilroy's first of 4 finalists, correct?
Correct.
Last year's record, 25 wins and 1 loss.
Quintero in on a single leg, switches off to the split series. Circles behind, and he gets that takedown. You know, again, state champ 2 years ago, state finalist last year. Many people says that he got robbed, but hey, he took second last year. No slouch.
Head coach is Daniel Cormier, assisted by Kyle Porter, Tony Andrade, and Jerry Addis. Parents are Daniel Mendoza and Esther Mendoza.
Quintero with that wrist right on the near side, looking for a half on the far side. Got that knee in front.
0 losses. Last year's record, 46 wins and 2 losses.
You know, it's so weird to look over and again, absolutely zero disrespect to any of the coaches in the corner, but not to see a Lawson brother, you know, with El Dorado. You know, Steve and Scott, they were there for so long and moved on.
I was looking at the same thing in the corner. Where's Lawson?
Stevie, we miss you. We'll see you in February.
I can hear his voice now. Hey, Brian, I miss you too.
Right now, you know, he's got his wrestler, and there's the stall call on Mendoza.
All 193-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Thinking our camera guy, Brandon, right? Yep, Brandon doing his thing.
I was talking to Brandon earlier, and he said his last name is Barnes. I said, you related to Trent Barnes and Todd Barnes? He said, well, Trent's my uncle, and Todd's my dad. Both state medalists. One was a state champion for Clovis West High School back in the 1980s.
You know, it's a thankless job up here at this table. You know, Brandon running the camera. You know, I look over here to our left, and I look at a familiar face. And we won't say his true first name, but, you know, Aaron's running the score next to us. We're here in the second, a 2-0 lead for Quintero. Mendoza's turn on top here. Tight waist half. very similar to what Quintero was doing in the first. That knee position up front, using the tight waist to pull the hips to you, just in case you get too far out in front. Switching off from the tight waist to the wrist. As we say that, Quintero catches the wrist and he's up to his feet. There's the return attempt from Mendoza.
Stalling warning on Mendoza.
Oh, we're going to get two. We're going to get the stall call, and we're going to get the fleeing the mat call.
Yep.
We did. We got the stall call on Mendoza, and the official, Dale Hanover, says one fleeing the hold as well towards the out of bounds, and now we have a 3-0 lead for Quintero. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, not to beat a drum, but, you know, it's a 40-foot circle.
Yeah.
In that case, Quintero, or, you know, he was on the top, or excuse me, on the bottom, got up to his feet, was motioning. And then there's the stall call return to Quintero. He says, okay, you're going to warn me for stalling. I'm just going to get up, and I'm going to get the escape. I'm going to take this out of the referee's hands.
I'll show you some action.
4-0 lead for Quintero.
All 193-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Mendoza, the returning champ. Got a 2-on-1. Ramirez in a front headlock position here. Doesn't have his left hand clear. Now he clears it.
Not that much time left.
And that's going to do it for the second. We're moved to the third, a 4-0 lead for Quintero over returning champion Moses Mendoza of Gilroy.
Mendoza chooses now to start the third period.
Mendoza trying to generate some offense from the bottom position. Gets up. Quintero cuts him. We're at 4-1. Now, both guys have been warned for stalling here, but Mendoza's got to push the pace.
Yeah.
He's got to not only push the pace, maybe he can get a stall call and a takedown to tie it. I don't foresee us. Oh, yeah,
Look at
this
that.
is a high C for Quintero. He's got to clear his right hand. He's in a little bit of a modified Iranian position here. Mendoza trying to get the crotch lift. Trying to pull him over that leg, get that shoulder deep. The flexibility of these athletes. Oh, bending over the neck.
Whoa.
Almost in a scorpion position there. No egregiousness on Mendoza's part whatsoever. Quintero did get bent up really bad.
Yeah, that scramble there was.
We're gonna take the camera off of Quintero. You know, just give him, you know, the medical staff and the trainers to be able to talk to them. He's moving. Again, no egregious effort on Mendoza's part whatsoever. Just kind of stacked him up on that crotch lift, trying to pull him over the top.
Yeah.
Quintero's back up to his feet. And we're good, Brandon. Big round of applause there for Quintero. That could have been definitely a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, still got a 4-1 score here.
A minute to go. Again, both wrestlers do have a stall call against them. High C single for Quintero. We're right back in that position. Crotch lift there by Mendoza. And we're in the same exact position here. Again, well, you're looking at Mendoza. Mendoza's not happy because when he's going for the crotch lift, Quintero's driving his head forward.
Yeah.
But there's no winner there.
Yeah, there isn't.
Quintero, front headlock, backing out of the cylinder. He's got his back to the back of the mat. There's the stall call, and now we're at a 4-2. Now that takedown ties it.
And like you talked about earlier, Brian, you know, get that big old 40-foot circle, you know, and you know where you're at. You got to stay in the center. You don't get called for stalling.
You know, we asked Mendoza to pick up the pace, and the aggressor's really been Quintero. And we're right back in the same situation. We're in that Iranian now.
20 seconds.
20 to go.
15 seconds.
Mendoza trying to get that takedown. He's trying to elevate that. Great flexibility by Quintero. 5 to go in the period. 2 to go. And that's going to do it. With a scramble here at the third, your champion at 123 pounds from El Dorado High School, Isaiah Quintero. We're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct there on Mendoza for throwing it. He's extremely upset, but it's not his choice. It's not his fault. He's got to shake hands here.
Yeah, come on. We always know that, you know, kids are upset and stuff, but it's a good job by DC making his young man go shake the opposing coach's hand.
Phenomenal, and he's still there. He's still there.
Yep.
Now Mendoza's he's not upset at Quintero by any means.
No.
He's upset at the officials for being able to stop that. But, you know, in that position, the official has to protect the wrestler.
Safety, correct.
Is Quintero purposely driving his head forward to get that back bow? Whatever, that's the defense. The referee's job is to stop that safety. He stopped that safety. And we're still getting a little.
You know, that team point, though, could be costly, though. You know, they got St. John Bosco right behind Gilroy in the team standings, and St. John Bosco having 3 guys in the finals. So I know that, you know, everyone wants to be the team champion, but still being in a top 5 finish or even a top 10 team finish, you know, is still important.
Especially, you know, they lose that point and they drop to that 160 and a half. And St. John Bosco now currently only 9 points behind with a couple of their big boys coming that can get some bonus points. Gilroy currently in 4th in the standings. You know, at some point you just got to get Mendoza out of the building. You know, take him out. And DC did a good job. You need to go show sportsmanship, go shake coach's hand.
Finishing in 3rd place from St. Edward, Ohio, Gerald Miller. And your runner-up at 193 pounds from Pleasant Grove, Utah, Trevin Gates. And your champion.
Sorry about the dead air. I was looking over my shoulder at DC to see if he can go find Mendoza.
Oh. Now, we just mentioned St. John Bosco. They're coming up next, correct, Ryan? With El Cajon.
With Guffy?
Guffy.
Yeah, so Antonio and Guffy. Guffy, the returning state champ. Returning finalist here at the Doc B. He was a finalist last year.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, get to your feet. We will have a shirt toss sponsored by
On here, we're at a little bit of a break here. And
this could cause
you
some.
can kind of see.
Everybody just wanting that Doc B T-shirt, right?
It's the T-shirt. Well, it's the
Cliff Keen T-shirt, correct.
And they just throw them out. And they got bags of shirts. I think there's 50 bags in each, or 50 shirts in each bag, and the kids go crazy. It's such a great tradition that they've been doing for the last couple years.
Yeah.
How fun is this, Anthony?
This is great. Look at these kids just enjoying good wrestling and then, of course, trying to get a T-shirt.
The things we do just for little things, like, you know, a T-shirt. We're getting a T-shirt.
Yeah. And look at Ruben over there. You know, even though he's got a wrestler coming out for the finals right now, he's out there smiling and enjoying his moment with T-shirt toss.
You're talking about Ruben Valencia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach at St. John Bosco. Both his boys, you know, did so well here in state. You know, Anthony just got the assistant coach job at Cal State Bakersfield.
Yeah.
You know, Zahid's still on that international trail.
Yep. Matter of fact, you said Cal State Bakersfield. I think they host Arizona State tomorrow at 2 p.m. So he gets to coach against his old alumni, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Those of you on Flow watching, Flow will have the broadcast for the Iowa State CBU duel tomorrow. That'll be down at Mountain Sac Junior College.
Well, as we mentioned, the first of 3 St. John Bosco finalists.
Here we go at 168 pounds, Colin Guffy of Granite Hills. He'll be in the red ankle band, taking on Joseph Antonio of St. John Bosco. Guffy, a returning finalist. Coach down there in San Diego. They got some good gear, some good swag. You look over in the corner, you know, Coach Beeman and Coach O'Rourke wearing matching ties and outfits, and they got their shoe gear going on.
They look sharp.
You know, Coach O'Rourke and Coach Beeman do a great job down there in San Diego.
And very nice, humble gentlemen too, you know, just great guys.
I mean, it's the same situation as we look across over at Valencia.
Yeah.
You know? St. John Bosco is put together the last 10 years a really nice program.
Previously, he has finished 4th in the state.
And again, 5 finalists.
Yeah.
He is coached by Coach Valencia, assisted by Anderson.
I'm hearing that the sister school of St. John Bosco is called St. Joseph. They're getting ready to start a women's program, I'm hearing.
Yeah, they really are. And that Trinity League here in California is huge, you know, with Servites and, you know, obviously the football aspect of it. But, you know, Coach Anderson at Bosco have that sister school and do it. And Antonio takes a nice little double leg and gets the 2 takedown. Guffy got caught off guard and got flat out to the hip. Any other mat, that's not a takedown.
No.
But this 40-foot circle, they let them wrestle, and Antonio pushed the pace, finished the double leg, and gets a 2 takedown. And Antonio's comfortable. He says, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll give you that escape. I feel very comfortable on my feet.
Yep.
30 seconds remaining in the first period.
Good hand fighting by Antonio. Again, not only on a national level, but you know we're California and having 2 California kids. San Diego section down there with Granite Hills, and the southern section, the Beast, along with the central section here in California. When we look at the number 1 and the number 2 ranked kids in the state, with Guffy being the number 1 ranked kid as a senior and Antonio being a junior, both already have commitments. You know, Antonio's going out to West Point, going to wrestle in that EIWA, and Colin Guffy, your neck of the woods, Stanford commit.
Yep. Got a 2-2 score here with Antonio putting Guffy on his feet to start the second period.
Got that over tie, Antonio. He hits a little bit of a duck here. His is modified though. He uses the wrist instead of an underhook. It's almost like a reverse head lever on his duck, but he'll elevate his head to the single leg. He uses the overhook on like the left-hand side. And he puts his right-hand side underneath the elbow, and as he elevates it, he drops down to that single leg.
Yeah. It's impressive on this change of levels too, you know, against a good tough kid like Guffy.
And now as we say that, he's got his elbow a little bit too deep on that front headlock. Guffy doing a great job controlling that elbow. We don't want space here if you're the defender on that front headlock. You got to close that gap, and we get the stalemate.
All 123-pound medalists, please come to the medal stand now.
Again, Antonio a junior, Guffy a senior. Guffy's currently ranked 1. Antonio pushing the pace, changing directions, getting that body lock. Can he get a return towards the edge? Yep. Edge of the cylinder, and there's going to be the 2 takedown. Granite Hills coach are not arguing it because he did. He reached up, he grabbed the hip, he secured the takedown, and then that's when the leg went out of bounds. Joseph Antonio looks like he's on a mission. He had a phenomenal semis match. You know, the college rule might have applied there on that 5-second holding the ankle, but I don't foresee that coming to high school anytime soon.
No.
But interesting, whether you're going to get the three-point takedown. If they're going to go three-point takedown in high school, they almost have to add that for near fall to make it fair.
Right.
You know, you're not going to give back exposure. You know, a takedown as well is more important than back exposure. So if they pair the two, we could see that coming. We'll see what the national, you know, high school kids and that association kind of does, that governing body. With the escape, it was 4-3 now, and Antonio's like, I'm going neutral. I haven't been taken down. I've been the aggressor. And that's one thing Bosco kids have always been.
Very confident on their feet, aren't they?
Yeah, and they attack a lot. You know, I mean, I remember Pico back in the day. As we hit that, we get a nice little elbow up to a double leg. Oh, and he called it. He called it potentially dangerous. It is the wrestler's job to secure it down to the mat, but he took that out of the hands of Antonio on such a deep shot. And Guffy with his shot switches off from the double to a single leg. Trying to step over and hook it. Got his hands locked high. As we say that, Antonio reaches down and peels that wrist off. And a crackdown by Guffy. Sits him to his hip and he gets a 2 takedown to take the lead, 5-4. Great action here at the end of the middle of the third period. That choice of going neutral possibly comes back to haunt him. You know, not choosing down there, you ultimately give up that point, right?
Right.
45 to go. Guffy down on an ankle. And there's the stall call.
Yep. Well, Coach Rubin in the corner wants more action from Antonio. Telling him to circle, get up to your feet.
The proverbial 1 not 2 here was told from the Granite Hills coaches. Coach Beeman said 1 not 2. We're okay with giving up the escape, but he's looking to get a turn here. 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds.
Antonio flat, the #1 ranked kid in the state, with Guffy with a 1-point lead over the #2 ranked kid in the state. Guffy getting a little bit high here. 15 to go. He readjusts that leg. Antonio trying to sneak out the back. 10 seconds to go. Guffy extends him flat out, and what a comeback by Colin Guffy. Your champion. Your champion at 168 pounds from Granite Hills High School, Colin Guffy.
Good match.
I go back to that third period. Antonio said, hey, I'm going to feel good on my feet. He went neutral, and it cost him. He lost the takedown, and he got ridden out.
Well, I'm sure those two men will meet each other again and review the film and have a different perspective when it comes to choice next time they meet, huh, Brian?
For sure. You know, we talked a lot about, St. John Bosco there, but Granite Hills is building a good program down in San Diego.
Yes.
You know, both Coach O'Rourke and Coach Beeman were at Cal State Bakersfield at one time. They're down there. They're running their program. They got Abram Klein. You know, he didn't place this weekend, kind of battling a little bit of a sickness, but they're good. They're tough.
Yeah, they've done a good job with that program.
Fifth place from Valencia, Slater Hicks. Finishing in 4th place from St. John Bosco, Nathan Carrillo.
You know, we kind of said it on the pre-broadcast, but to be able to have a front row seat and to be able to see this and provide back for our community, you know, I'm truly blessed to be able to be on the call. We're here with you. Thank you so much for what you do on the PA side, the voice of California. You know, the work that you do, the work that is put in, it's really impressive. It really is.
Well, thanks. You know, and again, obviously we do this for the love of the sport, and you know, we also get help in regards to, you know, people like yourself, K&E Productions, Flow. So as a public address announcer, you know, there's a lot of moving components that also help out and make my job easier too when it comes to announcing, whether it's the state championships or, you know, NC2A match or junior college, whichever. But you know, just listening to you right now on the mic, I'm like, holy smokes, like this guy, Brian, like, oh, he can do anything right now.
Hey, don't. I'm a humble human being, man. I appreciate it.
You do a great job, man.
Thanks.
You do a really good job.
You know, and you see it from the administration side too. Obviously, as an athletic director for a high school, and I see you traveling all over. But there's no greater experience I can imagine to see your athletes and student athletes out there competing at such a large tournament like this.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my high school team was participating in another local tournament about 45 minutes away from here at the Redwood Invitational. I went down this morning just to watch the semis and the medal matches. We had a few kids that were in there, and it was always nice to watch our own student athletes compete, you know. And again, that's why we're here, for the kids. Well, we got a St. John Bosco and a Gilroy. Another electrifying match coming up right here.
£135 Elijah Cortez out of Gilroy taking on Jesse Grajada of St. John Bosco.
17 wins and 0 losses. Last year's record, 35.
Again, we talked about it on the pre-broadcast, but now here when you're recording per match, it's so impressive to look over and to see the coaching depth. You know, we saw Coach DC in a couple of earlier matches, but as I look over, I see Jerry Abbas.
Yeah.
He was sitting in a chair, being able to coach and give his knowledge to these kids. It's impressive.
Yeah. Daniel Cormier, Tony Andrade, Kyle Porter.
You know, Porter's over there as well at Gilroy.
Yeah, he's had both his boys, Russell for Gilroy, and his daughter.
Yeah.
Jesse Grajeda is a freshman out of St. John Bosco.
Look at that.
A little bit of a scramble, still no points.
Current record of 25 wins and 2 losses. He is a 2023.
They're kind of knotted up there and see if the official steps in. Yeah. And both wrestlers recognize that.
Yeah.
Why exert any energy when the stalemate's coming?
Right.
Are Jesse Grajeda and Samantha Grajeda.
Grajeda with the level change. You know, Cortez, a returning state champ here in California.
.30 seconds remaining in the first period. All 168-pound medalists, please come to the medal stand now.
Stalemate action there.
You know, Grajeda's dad comes from a long lineage. He does. His dad wrestled up here at Turlock High School.
Turlock High School, Nick Kindred.
Shout out to Nick, owner of K&D Productions.
Cortez chooses bottom to start the second period.
Got no points on the board between both wrestlers, second period.
Cortez chooses bottom. Gets the escape.
1 point. 1 point escape Cortez.
Motion, stance, motion, circle, level change.
Yep.
You know, as coaches, we say that, and right as I say that, Cortez in on a shot. Grajeda trying to get that defense there. He's got to be able to push that elbow, catch that. Now he switches off to that little bit of a gator roll. And Cortez comes out on top and gets that takedown.
This is where I think Cortez really good at on top. He's got I mean, no discredit to his offense on his feet or anything stuff, but when he's on top position, boy, he really brings it. That's what he's got here.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Look at Grajeda here. He's got that 2-on-1. Again, announcer jinx, he just broke it as soon as I did.
Stalemate.
You know, this is the halfway point. You know, this is the 7th match of the night. I still look around. I see this crowd just, you know, they're wanting a big moment.
Standing room only, practically.
It really is. It really
30
is.
seconds. All 168-pound medalists, please come to the medal stand now.
You know, as you mentioned, I look in the stands and I see so many state champions for California that are grown men that are in their 40s and 50s and still coming back to watch the Doc B Finals.
Oh, time is out. Time was out.
After 2, Cortez leads 3-0. Grajeda chooses neutral to start the 3rd and final period.
Cortez is ready. He's bouncing. He's moving. Grajeda beat him back to the circle. Be the first person back to that line. Grajeda getting his bouncing or going.
Cortez very patient for his setup.
He's got a 3-0 lead as well, you know. I mean, sometimes you sit on a lead. He's not sitting on a lead here. Staying aggressive, got that underhook. Almost a little cross pick attempt there by Grajeda. Little snatch on that far ankle. Minute 15 to go. 3-0 lead for Cortez.
There it is.
Shot attempt, single leg, locked his hands. Trying to reach off to that far ankle. And he gets it, and he gets a takedown. Grajeda tried to reach up for that little bit of a, you know, that whizzer, ankle whizzer to hold on to it. A little bit too far extended. Cortez did a great job pushing the forward pace, extending him, putting that pressure on that hip. And he gets his takedown. He extends his lead to 5-0 with 45 to go.
He's got that little bit of swag, too. Like, come on, official, let me get set so I can keep wrestling.
Also, not to give Grajeda, you know, a little bit of an extra couple seconds to catch his win. You know, he's down by 5, 30 to go in the period.
30 seconds remaining.
You know, regardless of the score right now being 5-0, no matter what wrestler's out there tonight wrestling, what an accomplishment they've got to be at this moment here wrestling the finals, you know.
Absolutely, and with 10 seconds to go here in the 3rd, Cortez looking to put that cowboy hat on. He's going to do it. Your winner at 135 pounds from Gilroy High School, Elijah Cortez.
Good match.
That'll take a couple team points back for them. Now the irony is that was head-to-head against St. John Bosco.
Yeah.
So the point that Mendoza lost in the team race, it's still there. But you know, the head-to-head battles, you're going to win that. And with Gilroy taking that, they're going to take a little bit of a lead in the team race. for 4th place.
Guffy and Antonio, please report.
They've extended their lead now to 13 points.
Guffy and Antonio, please report to the medal stand now.
Well, this next match coming up, I'm sure Dad's back home in Oklahoma getting ready to watch his son here on the live stream with grandparents. Grandpa Sebastian's here in attendance tonight watching his grandson.
You know, I saw him up in the stands earlier, and, you know, we talked yesterday about it. It's just, he's a California legend.
Yeah.
You know, he's an Oklahoma legend.
Yeah.
And to have his son be able to come in, you know, they were out here last year as well. But now to have his son, you know, and Ishmael to make the finals, and Bixby, you know, they traveled. Last year they came up, they did the duel with Gilroy before the Doc B came up. You know, it's great. It's great to see grandparents travel.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, if you're at home and you're watching and you're listening, we've always appreciated what you've stood for here in California. 3-time state champ. It's appreciated, brother.
Yeah. I got a chance to talk to some Bixby parents, and they said they went out to Half Moon. They took the kids to Half Moon Bay and got in the beach, got in the water, and got a workout in at Stanford University. You know, there.
Could have came down to your house and had some lunch.
And speaking of Oklahoma, I saw that the Cowboys got a big win against North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, you know, whether it's the Big 12, whether it's the Big 10, you know, whether it's all these different conferences along the way, whether you're in the ACC, a win's a win. That's a big win.
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is. And the California kid that transferred over, Isaac Olenek from Bakersfield High School, you know, boy, he's doing some amazing things for the Cowboys. I'm sure John Smith's happy with him.
Really is, for sure. You know, they wrestling North Carolina's a little interesting, you know, with the coaching change and moving over.
Yep.
Now we're going to talk about growth here with this match. You know, Andrew Barbosa of Palm Desert, he's been an elite wrestler here in California. He's taken that next step this year for sure. And to be in the finals here against Guerrero, looking forward to this match for sure.
Andrew Barbosa is a senior out of Palm Desert. His current record is 12
Barbosa had a good little run through the tournament, you know, taking out some top seeds.
Champion this year. He has previously finished 6th place in the state, 6th at the Doc B, 1st battle of the belt, and he is a Masters champion. He is coached by Anthony.
Again, Barbosa, the 7th seed here in the tournament, took out some top seeds.
And his parents are Heather
Ishmael Guerrero, the 3 seed, took out the 2.
Ishmael Guerrero.
Again from Bixby, Oklahoma.
He is a junior with a current record of 16 wins and 1 loss on the season. He is a Fort Hays
That's the second shot attempt for Guerrero.
And a Viking College Open.
What a cool room.
Yeah.
Have the rollers, Guerrero.
He will be attending Oklahoma State next year to wrestle. And he is coached by Ray Blake, Shane
And it's also great to see these guys perform at the next level. You know, I look at last year's champion, you know, Jersey Rob, and what a great name.
Yeah, Jersey Rob.
Yeah. You know, but to see his success at the next level, to see Olenek, you know, his success.
Yeah.
You know, we look at guys up and down in the college level that have come and put on a cowboy hat is absolutely fantastic. You know, Steve Tierpelli and Adam and Gabe Schaefer, you know, Clovis High School has turned this tournament into the outside our state tournament, you know, the best tournament in the state of California.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if not top 2, top 3 high school tournament in the nation.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you say that. I sent a text message out to the athletic director, the softball coach, and the area superintendent for Clovis. And the reason why I sent it to the softball coach is because he's actually the tournament director Now, mind you that the softball coach at Clovis High School, the tournament director for this Doc Buchanan, and just complimenting as far as just the number of teams and the level of competition they pull in, and a great tournament they put on as well. And I'm sure, like I said, there's others that involve the coaching staff and, like I said, the Terrapellis and stuff. But when you get people to help out, like a softball coach, to be your tournament director, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool. The amount of effort and energy that goes into this. And Clovis Unified, they do it right, for sure. The hotbed of California wrestling, for sure. Guerrero with a little bit of a Granby. Squares his hip, faces him, he gets the escape. Great action from the bottom. Barbosa's had those workout partners for the last couple years with the Montanonas. He's really stepped up his game this year. Guerrero got his hands locked. His head's on the outside of the single leg. Possibly switch off to the double. Sits him to his butt. He's got to clear his left hand around the hip. His right hand is free. Still no points. Barbosa trying to cut the corner. Official did a great job. He hopped in and he said, we're still working, we're still working. They stopped working. Boom, here comes the stalemate.
Yeah, good old Donnie Valdez.
One minute remaining in the second period.
That low level of approach for Guerrero.
All 135
reminds me of his dad. How his dad would be kind of on that drop knee occasionally. Re-attack from Barbosa. Guerrero's definitely been the aggressor here in the first period and a half. Still no stall call, though. Ishmael with good motion, circling to his right, trying to stay with his back to the center of the mat. Gets him back to the middle. 5 to go in the period. And they're happy to move on to the third. They both took a look at each other and was like, 5 seconds to go, let's go. And there's a clock on each side of the mats here, so they can see the score and they can see the time. At least the wrestlers on the match or on the mat. A little bit of cross-body ride here from Guerrero. Barbosa controlling the wrist. Guerrero controlling the ankle. He flattened him out here. See if Guerrero can go to work on that cross ride.
Please report to the medal stand now.
1:20 to go. Guerrero with a 1-0 lead. Trying to dig that elbow out, and he's got it out. Looking to possibly load a tilt here. Elbow in the small of his back. And they call a stall call. I'm not sure I'm okay with that. I mean, I have no choice as the announcer, but he was working there. He was working for the guillotine. He was changing directions.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was just laying there on top of him. He was working for it, but obviously called the other way.
A little bit of an early start there for Barbosa. Turns and faces him. Guerrero switches off to the double leg, and now he's got the leg split.
In between the legs, yeah.
Got to climb that body. Time's a ticking, 45 to go. Climbs those hips back up. Again, a 1-0 lead, and now he sets that cross-body ride again. A little bit of a vine ride. Barbosa peeks, he looks at the clock, sees he's got 30 seconds left, and Guerrero doing a great job, loads it. But he lost the leg, and he gives up a reversal. Now he's down by 1. He got a little sloppy on that.
Look at Barbosa hanging on tight.
And now he's in a scramble himself. getting really wide here, 10 to go. Barbosa in danger. He's in a crab ride, trying to get the escape. He gets a near fall count, he gets 2 near fall. Your champion at 160 pounds with a good comeback from Palm Desert High School, Andrew Barbosa. Guerrero had control of that whole match, got a little bit sloppy on the vine ride. Barbosa clears his hips, he gets the reversal, and then at the end, you know, Guerrero just trying to get away, opens up, gives up the 2 near fall.
Please report to the medal stand.
That'll wake up the crowd.
Good match.
At 135 pounds.
Now we're going to have this next match, another out-of-stater, a Georgia kid, Drew Gorman of Buford, going to be taking on Paul Kelly of Poway.
Finishing in 7th place from Mountain Ridge, Utah, Lane Lehman. Finishing in 6th place from Kingsburg High School, Leo Macias. Finishing in 5th place from Poway, Elias Navida. Finishing in 4th place from Canyon Springs, Richard Murillo. Finishing in 3rd place from Slam Academy, Nevada, Manuel Soldati.
That Slam Academy, that's an interesting concept on how they do that.
Yeah.
You know, they're all athletes. You know, I'm a little unsure of the schooling. I'm not sure if it's a home school or like a charter school issue where they actually have a class. But for them to set up an entire academy for all athletes to get their studies and to continue on, it's a great concept. We're kind of seeing it with that school in Arizona, or that academy in Arizona. What's it, Valiant?
Yep.
I think it's Valiant in Arizona. Larkin's group.
Yep.
Get these kids wrestling 5-6 days a week, a couple hours.
Yeah. And obviously just trying to promote them to the next level, right?
Well, that's our job as coaches, right?
Yep.
To get your kids prepared for that next level.
Yeah.
Up to 141 pounds here. Well, down to 141 pounds from 160. Here we go, 141 pounds, Drew Gorman of Buford, Georgia, taking on Paul Kelly of Poway, California.
Drew Gorman is a junior from Buford High School out of Georgia. Current record is 30 wins.
Paul Kelly currently ranked number 1 in the state of California.
Last year he had a record of 50 wins and 1 loss.
High C, a little bit of a scramble. No control here. We're in a north-south, still no control. Kelly holding on to that ankle.
He finished 2nd at the Doc B his freshman year, and he is a 2-time Georgia state champion. He is coached by
A 2-time Georgia state champ.
Tom
They're both looking at each other. That was interesting. So Gorman kind of looked at the referee and was like, hey, are you going to call the stalemate? Again, they're in a really tight little scramble here. Paul Kelly trying to come on out. Paul Kelly, the Cal Baptist commit, CBU commit. Again, this is a good 45-second scramble, and Kelly gets the high hips and gets a takedown. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say, look at Kelly. Sure, like you mentioned, scoring that takedown.
He is coached by John Myers, Coach Ren, Lopez, and Tausch. His parents are Brian and Angelica Kelly. medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Interesting to see the California school, in Cal Baptist going into the Big 12, starting to wrestle in some of those schools. As Paul Kelly's, working the top control here. Got to be able to go out to that CBU Iowa duel. So good for California wrestling to have Iowa come out. And then tomorrow they're wrestling Iowa State. Derek Moore's running a really good program down there.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job there. And, just amazing. You mentioned Iowa State. I think the last time Iowa State came out to California is when they wrestled Fresno State, and I think that was back in 2011 at the Save Mart Center and set a West Coast attendance record. So it's good to see that Iowa and Iowa State are back, in California. And of course, as you know, our California wrestling community, they love just watching, other programs wrestle, especially when they're here in California. They'll make that 2 or 4 hour trip to go watch.
Yeah, and they do, and they're committed to California, the fans. They've got 3 California kids now on the team. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean 2. Both Temecula boys, Perryman and Gaitan. Mm-hmm. Gaitan starting this year. But, they're getting Daniel Herrera. They're getting Peanut.
Yeah.
Got a 3-0 lead here for Paul Kelly and a nice little dump from Gorman. And he gets the takedown to go 3-2. And he's going to cut him here. He's got to wait to face him. Now it's 4-2. But to get that California connection and that pipeline into Iowa State, and
yeah,
that'll be fun tomorrow for sure. Mm-hmm. Watch it here live on Flow.
All 160-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Gorman took that shot. I mean, he was pretty far out in left field there, but ultimately, it shows the officials that, hey, I'm still engaged in this match. I'm down by 2. I want to be the aggressor. I don't want to get called for stalling. Paul Kelly, a 2-time California State place winner, took 3rd last year for Poway. They're the #1 ranked team in California. They went out to those duels, in Oklahoma. Matter of fact, all 3 schools went out. Poway, Buchanan, Clovis, got to wrestle some of those large schools across the nation.
Yeah, and all 3 California schools did very well, too.
It's always that talk, East Coast, West Coast. Wrestling's wrestling top level. Mm-hmm. And when you get to nationals and you start to see it, but, whether it's Pennsylvania or Oklahoma, Jersey doing their thing. Ohio's always tough at those national tournaments.
Yeah.
Kelly took a peek at the clock, saw that he had 10 seconds to go, controlling that overhook.
Kelly leads 4-2, headed into the 3rd period.
Buford down by 2, goes neutral. I keep calling him Buford because that's on the back of his singlet, but Drew Gorman is really his last name. My apologies to you there, Drew. Gorman with a low single attempt, and there's the stall call on Kelly.
Oh, look at this.
Little underhook shuck by.
Wow.
Good defense there by Gorman. Yes. Kelly kind of elevated that shuck, got to the ankle. Good little scramble towards the edge of the cylinder, and Drew Gorman did a great job on a defense to get out of that. Still down by 2, got to kind of push the pace here with 1:30 to go. Controlling those ties underneath. I was just about to say it. Controlling the ties underneath kind of led him to it. You almost saw that little bit of a headlock pancake.
1 minute exactly.
But Gorman was smart there. He saw he was towards the edge of the cylinder, not necessarily too much in danger. Protect the edge on a 40-foot circle. Big old cougar right plastered in the middle of it. .45 to go. Kelly with a 2-point lead. Gorman trying to dig inside, get to a shot, get to a carry. And there's a stall call on Gorman. It's returned. Again, we keep saying it, but it's so difficult as a wrestler to get to the edge here. Yeah. I mean, it's such a large circle. That was extremely egregious. Stall call definitely warranted. Now we're starting to push the pace. Drew Gorman. Outside single leg attempt. 5 seconds to go.
Still wrestling.
It's still wrestling. There was no whistle.
Boy.
Gorman kind of stopped there. He was defeated.
Yeah.
Paul Kelly raises his fist and is number one, your champion. At 141 pounds from Poway, California, Paul Kelly. That ultimately seals the team title.
It sure does.
I mean, St. Ed's has got, what, one more guy left?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was actually locked up a little bit earlier, but team race is always fun.
At 160 pounds, finishing in 8th place.
All these matches have been exciting, but I think this, as we talked about, this next one's got some fireworks.
Well, if you're not excited about wrestling, then maybe after watching a match like this, possibly could.
Finishing in 6th place from Cano.
You know, Brian, I don't think one spectator has left the building yet, you know, as far as how many matches we've already wrestled for the finals. There's still a packed house, standing room only.
It really
People on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, and I mean, we still got a bunch of the local kids coming up. And what I mean by local is, you know, Gilroy's right across the way.
Yep.
I mean, you got the 2 Gilroy kids coming up. And then we're going to finish off the night with Buchanan, our local Fresno Clovis kid. Joey Toscano of Buchanan taking on St. Ed's of Oklahoma in that matchup. And you got McCade coming up.
Yes.
Zinkin, a hometown finalist for Clovis High School. He's going to be taking on the returning champ, Isaiah Cortez of Gilroy. But this match, 2 returning champions here. 2 cowboy hat winners. You got Brock Montanona. He's headed out to Michigan from Palm Desert. He's going to go join his brother out there. And then E.J. Parco, Los Gatos.
Yeah.
Next, wrestling at 153 pounds. Wrestling on the red corner from Palm Desert, Doc Buchanan.
You know, Brock won the state title 2 years ago, took second last year. Big Ten Michigan commit. And he's taking on Los Gatos, E.J. Parco. And he's going to stay home. He's going to go to Sanford.
Yes. You know, we talked about so many coaching staffs, you know. Greg Varela right now, looking at him sitting in the corners, did a fantastic job when he was at Gilroy. Now he's at Los Gatos and has done a tremendous job with Los Gatos as well.
Really has. And Parco comes from some good pedigree as well. Montanona's a funky guy. He can score from any position. He's got cradles. He's got whips.
First in the state, second in the state in 2023. He is a 2023 Doc B champion.
Parco doesn't mind to go upper body either.
No.
He is coached by Anthony Mantanona Jr.
Again, 2 returning Cowboy champions, Cowboy hat wearing champions.
E.J. Parco is a senior.
You know, Parco's taken 5th at the state tournament the last 2 years. You know, he was at 38s 2 years ago and up at 45s last year.
This year he is
Now up at
Reno
53s,
finals.
really 150
He's a two-time
pounds.
state placer,
Montanona in on a
Rocky
shot.
champion, and Reno TOC champion.
Got a single leg, heads on the inside, and there's that shin wizard.
Assisted by Victor Paza.
And there's the roll. We talked about it earlier. Got to be able to catch the ankle here if you're going to hit that. You know, the West Coast people call it a wiser tilt. East Coast call it like a Jonesy tilt. Shout out to Jason Knoll, working the camp, you know, Fullerton Wrestling Camp, showing his little tilt, his little Jonesy tilt with his variation. And we're in a scramble here.
Wow.
Who's going to come out
Look
on top?
at this
Oh,
scramble.
Parko's going to come out on top. And here comes Montanona right back. And now we're in a north-south position.
All 141-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Parko's like, you got funk, I got plenty of
Yeah.
funk too here. What a great scramble. 10 seconds to go.
Both guys stingy on giving up the takedown, huh?
Right? Well, I mean, they get out of bad position and then they get caught back
Yeah.
into a good position. And it's really, I said that wrong. In reality, it's the great offense that leads to the scramble from the defending person.
Yeah.
Montanona chooses down to start the second period.
Brock scores a lot from the bottom here. He'll sometimes sit to a hip. Sometimes he'll come up to his feet. Quad pod here. Controls the hands. Parko with a return.
All 141-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Brock's sure put on some height over the last couple years. You know, being a smaller kid in that family with both his brother, you know, Anthony and Bo.
He's really stretched, hasn't he?
He might be the tallest one of the three already.
Yeah, I agree.
And their sister's nails.
Doesn't surprise me.
Great athlete. Again, he's got a cutback from here. It's a little bit of a slide by to a motion, a little obscured in our view here. Wrestling towards the edge. Montanona keeping his knees in bounds, trying to pull that ankle in of Parko. Parko grabbing his own ankle, and he calls it out of bounds. Referee, Mr. Katz.
Yeah, it's good to see him back on the mat. You know, unfortunately last year he broke his clavicle right before the wrestling season started.
Yeah, had that small little accident on a bicycle.
On the bicycle,
yeah. Good to see him and, you know, his family, his brother's back east. He's watching probably right now on Flow. He had some tough calls in the semi-match. He had a semi-match where there were two calls near the edge. Made two great calls. The officiating here, it's an honor to be picked, too.
Yeah.
Montanona in on a single leg, switches off, comes on up to that high, see if he can return down to his mat. Parko doing a great job pulling that ankle. And there's that length of Montanona.
Look at this scramble.
Look at Parko.
Jeez.
Heads on the inside, still no control. It's close here. If he gets the criteria in the near fall, he's going to give him the 2 points.
20 seconds.
He calls the 2, and now he's getting the back
near fall.
points. He's got 2 near fall in the bank. Another little scramble.
Wow.
So you got the 2 takedown, 2 near fall, 1 escape. Montanona with a 5-1 lead.
Got a question here by Coach Greg Varela.
He's going to ask what changed here.
Yeah.
He's going to ask to confer with the assistant. You know, no video review here in high school, obviously.
No, you know, I think one day that we'll have it. Video, as much as, you know, technology is advanced as far as, especially here with wrestling, you know, I think one day we'll have it soon. But meantime,
I think so. You know, for some of these big tournaments, it's pretty simple to actually have that. But
Yeah.
we don't want to slow down the wrestling for any means.
True.
But to be able to do that at the elite tournaments, okay, great. But we got to be able to do it at every tournament.
Yeah.
And unless every tournament's being streamed with that video, we're not going to be able to have video review.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, soon. I mean, maybe with the technology, you know, we're seeing a lot of iPads film. We're seeing a lot of these little handy cams or even the webcams be able to. But you got to be able to have that. You know, Flow does a great job with their infrastructure. You know, whether you're running it on Flow or track, They still have that flow capability to be able to go back and look at that video review at college.
Yeah, and look at this. We still got a good lengthy discussion here between both officials.
Edgar and Katz.
No points.
He's going to wave it off.
Both men still on their
They're going
feet.
to call it neutral.
So
Hey, Montanona's not arguing. You know, obviously you got Dad Montanona and Anthony Montanona here,
yeah.
and they're not arguing it. So we're gonna have a confirmation over here. We're gonna see a score change.
So we took off that takedown, and we took off that.
So they're gonna take off the takedown and the near fall.
We got a 1-0 match.
So we got the 2 takedown and the 2 near fall taken away.
Yep.
And that's a great job not only by Varela to ask him, but to be able to, for the assistant to come in, step in, give his opinion, and for Katz to make that change and not have that, complex of, hey, I made a bad call.
Yeah.
Get it right. And you noticed both Montanonas were totally okay with that.
Yeah.
They wanted the explanation. Katz went over, gave him the explanation, but there's no hoopla over it.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to work. That's why you have the assistant.
Yeah.
As we say that, Montanona gives the escape to Parco to tie it up. That's exciting. It really is. I enjoy to see the way it's supposed to works. Referee calls the controversial, or well, not controversial, the call.
Yep. And trusting, your assistant.
And Parco now in on a single leg himself, trying to elevate it. And again, we're right back to that Shin Wizard defense. And here comes the Funka Montanona. He's very comfortable here.
Yes, he is comfortable.
And he's so long, he's able to come out the back. Parco doing a great job controlling that far ankle. You can see it here on the near side. His left hand's controlling the ankle, not letting Montanona scoot out. 1 minute to go. Parco's in some danger here. Montanona's got the best position. 1 minute to go in the scramble. Parco holding on to those ankles. Now Montanona freed that ankle. Oh, and they get the stalemate. What a phenomenal scramble by EJ and Brock.
$50 seconds.
Living up to the billing, 2 returning champs. 30 to go, well, 45 to go. We're tied at 1. Both wrestlers just kind of feeling each other out. Again, the number 1 and number 4 ranked kids in the state, but Parco taking out a couple of them along the way. Parco's going to be the number 2 ranked kid in the state after this tournament for sure. My apologies on there. Miguel Estrada is currently ranked number 1 at that weight class, and Brock number 2, and Parco number 3, or excuse me, Parco 4. Miguel, I forgot about this. How do you forget about the overtime monster? Miguel Estrada, 2-time defending state champ. Reality, a 3-time defending state champ. But here, we're moving to overtime. Sudden victory, first points wins. Both wrestlers not wanting to give up position, of course.
Uh-oh.
Captain Obvious, and we get a spin behind, go behind.
Oh.
And he got the 2 takedown and getting some back points. And Montanona really doesn't care. He's like, get off of me. I got the takedown, I got the 2 near fall, and your champion at 153 pounds from Palm Desert, the Michigan commit, Brock Montanona. What a scramble.
Great match.
Really great match. Is Varela going to ask this question, or is he just going to come talk at the end?
I think he attempted to, but then Randy said, no, it was a takedown. Match should have been over.
What a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
It led up to the billing. 2 returning champs. That one's going to go back. I'm going to go back and watch that a little bit later on. And it goes back to that call with Montanone getting the takedown and the near fall. Yeah, he becomes the winner, so it's really a moot point.
Yeah.
But the officiating in that match was spot on both sides. The assistant as well. Varela calls the challenge, gets it overturned. Doesn't necessarily get the warning for the challenge of a judgment call. He wanted to ask the assistant. We get the change. What a match.
Yeah. And of course, as we discussed, those two young men still have a future ahead of them past high school.
Well, Big Ten, Pac-12, Stanford and Michigan, two. Again, here comes the academic side of it, with Stanford as well as Michigan. Michigan's a really top academic school. And I'm not being a homer this time, I promise.
And your champion at 141 pounds from Poway High School, Kling.
Again, we really appreciate all you guys out there staying in between matches, watching the live stream. I'm Brian Navarro, my partner here, the legend, Anthony Morales.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Trying to bring a little enjoyment to your night here, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. Some of those people out there in Oklahoma a couple hours ahead of us. Georgia 3 hours ahead of us.
Oh, here's that T-shirt toss again, Brian.
Round 2, baby.
Yep. Look at these little guys, little girls just going nuts. Give me a T-shirt, I'll take one here.
It's great to see events.
Yeah.
This is an event.
Yeah.
It is a wrestling tournament, but they've made it into a true spectacle.
For all ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the kids running across the mat, trying to get T-shirts. Little grommets running around. I look up and I see that's a young kid from Bixby. He's got the Bixby shirt on. They travel probably to see something of their family members. And now the kids run back to their positions.
Yep, go back, get their seats back in the front row.
And look, we look over there and you got administrators from, Clovis Unified passing, throwing them out, saying, hey, all right, here we go. It's so great to see. We've said it numerous times, but, the amount of production that gets put on, it's impressive.
Yeah.
All the contractors, all the vendors. I don't know. I'm a big fat guy. That Coach Schaefer, he's like, hey, have you tried the chili verde? And I was like, no. Brings me back some nachos, and it was just phenomenal. The burgers are out here. It's a true event here. They got vendors outside.
Yeah.
It's great to see the teams in their easy ups.
Yeah.
Relaxing, the motorhomes in the parking lot.
Yeah, big time event here. They do a fantastic job, and just nothing but good wrestling from the first round to the final match of the finals.
Yeah, we're going to have another one here with Poway and St. Ed's. Ty Miller and Angelo Posada. Here we go, 178 pounds. Angelo Posada of Poway quickly in on a shot. He's taking on Ty Miller of St. Ed, Ohio. A little bit of a danger here, neutral danger. Posada trying to come out the back to secure it, and he gets the 2 takedown. And 2 good officials here. Obviously Edger doing his thing. He does a lot on that international level as well. And then the one and only Rick McKinney, who's done it all. Not only wrestle, he's coached. He coached, Selma for a long time.
Yeah, Rick is he's a Hall of Famer, and him being the head official to this tournament, he's done a fantastic job of bringing in the best officials across. I mean, there's many good officials out there, but he did a good job as far as not necessarily having all his guys from the association to officiate this tournament. He brings in top quality officials.
For sure. Posada's got a 2-0 lead. We talk about that next level commitment, and we talk about East Coast, West Coast. Angelo Posada, he was a state qualifier last year, state finalist, my apologies. He took second. And, he's committing to Stanford as well. So West Coast, whether it's Cal Poly, whether it's CBU, whether it's Stanford, they're trying to keep these California kids.
Yeah.
And Ty Miller out here in St. Ed's, I'm not sure where he's possibly going, but, a tournament like this is going to get some scouting. Again, I don't have the information on Ty Miller if he's already committed somewhere, but if you're wrestling at St. Ed's,
You're going somewhere.
an elite tournament, Doc B final.
Well, how about yesterday in the quarterfinals? St. Ed's, they have two kids wrestling each other in the quarters. The starter and the backup. So I'm sure even the backup's going somewhere.
And you see that, and you hear us talk about the Invitational. Well, they got two tough kids in that weight class. Hey, let's bring them out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Schaefer and Tierpelli to be able to get those guys in the tournament at the same weight.
Yeah.
They obviously split the seeds and one lost, and they matched up. But how great is that?
Oh, it's awesome.
Ty Miller's, his semis match was extremely active and loud, and he had a little bit of a presence about him. If you want to go back and watch that archive video on Flow, check out the semis match here at 178 pounds. Ty Miller's semis match on mat 1 was great. Posada trying a little bit of a boot scoot here, trying to get out the back. Look at that transition by Miller. He went from the near ankle to the far ankle to stop Posada from coming around.
Yeah. Well, John Myers over in the corner telling Posada to come up to his feet.
.115 to go here in the second. 2-0 lead for Posada. Miller holding on to that single leg, getting it up in the air. Looking to club the head, kind of whiffed and missed. And now he got that ankle trip. The first one, he kind of missed that head. Got the second one, got the ankle turn, and gets the ankle and gets the return back to the mat. But Posada quickly back up to his feet, looking for a back cut, no stall call. Coach Myers was looking for that 5-second on the feet of no mat return. Switch sides. Posada controlling the wrist. Miller right back down to that single leg. He hit the club trip last time. Look for another club that time. Elevates that leg. That's a good single leg defense there for Posada.
Yeah. And Miller getting called for the stalling, so we got a stalling on Miller now.
He goes right back down to that single leg, and now he's going to try that trip on the outside. This is where he was warned last time. And now he's still down on the single leg. He's got to work his way up.
So he's got to keep moving.
10 seconds remaining in the second period.
Miller's got to keep his guy in the circle.
See, but Posada recognizes that. He saw that the last time he got the stall call against him, well, for him in reality. But, hey, let's try it again, work our way towards the edge of the center or the cylinder. Five seconds to go. Can Posada get away? Got the 2-on-1, and there's the stall call, and there's the 1 point. And that's a good call.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, there was no mat return. Coach Myers was asking for it last time. He got it this time, and he gets that extra point. And not only does he get the extra point, he gets the stall call as well. So now he's had the 2 stall calls. Now he's in the bottom position. Ty Miller. It's fun to see St. Ed's out here wrestling. Being able to travel from, you know, far distance, fly on in.
And speaking of flying, I'm not mistaken, I think Buchanan's leaving for Illinois, I think, on Thursday.
Yeah, I think Clovis is going out there too.
Are they?
If don't quote me on that, but yeah, they're heading on out.
Yeah.
That's that alumni tournament that they kind of run, you know, in Illinois. Hey, if you wrestled for us and you got programs that you go out and coach,
You want to bring your team, come on over, right?
you know, the Tierpelli brothers.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Gabe Flores at Clovis North.
Yep.
Posada with a tight waist half. And there's a stall call on Green. Let's spice it up a little bit here, Anthony.
Yeah, John's telling him, hey, don't give up another one. Stay aggressive.
He's got that 3-point lead. Stall call, one stall call against Posada. And there's been 2 against Miller. Miller kind of turtles up a little bit down on the bottom, gets his base underneath him for the explosion. We did get word that Miller has not committed anywhere. He's only a junior. That's my mistake. You know, I have it on the sheet as a senior, but he is a junior. Hasn't committed anywhere yet. You keep making finals at these big tournaments, or you're going to get looked at.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
25 to go.
Uh-oh.
And there's another stall call.
Uh-oh.
So now we've evened up the stall call. The irony is this puts everything in play here.
Yeah.
Now a reversal ties it up. You know, an escape and a takedown takes the lead. An escape and a push of the, you know, push of the pace gets another stall call, can tie it up. 15 to go. Posada trying to hang on to his 3-1 lead. Got a deep tight waist. 10 to go. He's out in front with that tight waist here. 5 to go. That's going to do it.
Good win for the Green Machine.
Your champion at 178 pounds from Poway High School secures the team title once again. Angelo Posada.
All 153-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
Well, the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Here comes Zinkin Cortez.
And, you know, referring back to this last match, I think Miller from St. Ed's might tell his coaching staff, Coach, let's come back next year. I want a cowboy hat.
Well, Posada being a senior, maybe he's like, I got a chance next year. I mean, he was in the match the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stall calls in that match, kind of moving around, but crowd's going to get crazy here. You know, you got a returning champ in Cortez. You got a returning finalist in the Cade Zinkin. You got the Zinkin name in Clovis.
Yep.
A hometown, not only hometown, home site wrestler with Clovis High.
Yeah, I look over to my left, our left, and I see the Zinkin family there taking up the first 3 rows in the front center.
You think that's reserved, or you think that they got the seats?
Finishing in 4th place from Gilroy, Daniel Zepeda. Finishing in 3rd place from Poway.
You know, Zinkin, you know, the cousin, obviously Rockland, got a lot of run last year being to be a finalist. But, you know, this year with Cortez being the returning state champ, here's another commit. You know, he's going out to Cornell. So taking his stuff out there, being as a junior. Well, Nicade's a junior as well, and he's a 2-time California state place winner. He took 5th, you know, and then he took 3rd last year, lost in that semis. But Nicade Zinkin, Isaiah Cortez.
Good matchup.
The lasers, you know, you got light show going on. It's difficult to show you guys from our angle, but directly behind us, they have a very large 35-foot, you know, cougar head. At the next break, I'll get Brandon, our camera guy, to pan around. It's an elevated stage in the back in the gym. It's like an auditorium, and they got a huge cougar head, and they come out of the cougar head, and it's going to get loud.
Yes, it is.
Because their hometown boy, Nikkei Zekin's coming down those steps, cool, calm, collective, and he's currently taking on the returning state champ, the returning Doc B champ, Isaiah Cortez and Nikkei Zekin.
I think that whole section is Clovis High Cougar kids.
Here we go, 129 pounds, Isaiah Cortez of Gilroy, the returning champion, taking on returning finalist, Nikkei Zekin of Clovis.
33 wins and 0 losses.
Cortez, the returning state champ as well here in California. And on a low single, Nikkei, a little bit of funk trying to come out the back. Cortez controlling that angle, and he gets the takedown, and this crowd's going nuts. He possibly can get some near fall here. He got one swipe, but not two. The pure adrenaline, what it can do for a human. Take nothing away from his wrestling ability. Nikkei is an elite wrestler here in California, but that little extra adrenaline to go out against the returning state champ, the returning Doc B champ, and take him down within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Again, the number 1 seed, Isaiah Cortez, the number 3 seed, Nikkei Zekin, the number 1 ranked wrestler in the state of California, Isaiah Cortez, the number 3 ranked wrestler in California, Nikkei Zekin. The pace of this match is pretty high. Again, Coach Schaefer and Tirapelli in the corner.
Look at that.
And there's that reversal too. You know, you got Abish, you got DC, you got all the coaches in the corner getting these wrestlers throughout the, you know, the Christmas break. School hasn't started yet, and they're wrestling at an elite level here at the Doc B Finals. Isaiah Cortez with a reversal to tie it up at 2.
10 seconds.
You know, you mentioned Adam and Schaefer in the corner, and then I hear Steve Tirapelli behind it coaching back here too. So.
You can't take Steve out of the limelight, man.
After the first period, we're tied at 2.
He raced some good boys.
Yes, he did.
He really did.
Cortez chooses down to start the second period.
And both his boys have won their, last 11 California state titles?
Yep.
What Clovis had 5 in a row or 6 in a row, and now we're looking at 8 in a row for Buchanan, correct?
Yeah.
Like the last 10, 15 years, Clovis High and Buchanan, those boys coaching, Troy and Adam.
Good family.
Good technique there by Cortez. Got up to his feet, controlled that wrist, put it in his pocket, cut, faced him, and he gets the escape. Was that Uncle Delito up there? I couldn't hear. I didn't see him here.
Well, there's Uncle Harold. There's Dad Harold right there.
Yeah,
we got Mickey over there. We got Dwayne. We got Dad Zinkin.
Dad Zinkin's all, you know, he's always got such good tunnel vision.
Yep.
You know, at some time he'll look up and he's like, did we win? You know, because he's just so focused on his boy.
Yeah.
Gilroy's going to make a run this year at the state tournament for sure.
Yeah, they sure are.
You know, I mean, Poway looks like they've got the numbers. They're going to get, you know, their 12, 14 qualifiers. You know, they got a shot to have 14 place winners. (3-2) lead for Cortez. 30 to go in the period. Low single for Cortez. (15 to go). No danger here yet. Oh, we kind of saw this with the Quintero match. Zinkin gets the high hips here. Now Cortez has got the high hips. And he clears the hips with no points. Timeout. Great scramble here to end the second period. You know, I'll give a shout out to my partner, you know, last year at the big duel, Clovis Buchanan, you know, George Ruiz. You know, he told me before the duel last year that flat out, quote unquote, he said that Nikkei Zinkin, he's got the dog in him.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's never out of a match. I remember that match being down 4-0, and he hits that little bit of a beautiful duck into a headlock and gets the win. Nikkei Zinkin has the dog in him.
He sure does.
But he's facing the returning state champ, and Cortez is no slouch.
Please report to the medal stand now.
He's got a 1-point lead, Cortez does. Trying to use the tight waist, it cut back. Zinkin got up to a little bit of a tripod, cleared up his hips. Cortez used that tight waist, pulled that hip down to the mat to secure it, and now he's in that crossbody vine ride, and he's looking for a guillotine. I can't see it from this side, maybe a banana. Not sure if his hands are locked or he's under that far arm.
He's under the far arm.
Controlling the ankle as well. We're down to a minute to go. Switch, re-switch, switch, re-switch, out of bounds. Great little scramble. No change. Zinkin's still going to be down. Tennis ball comes flying onto the mat. Towel Tapper quickly out there, scoots that tennis ball off.
Good thing that noodle's 3 feet long, huh?
I don't know if you guys got that on camera, but
45 seconds
it's
here.
a tough task to ride out. You know, a full 2 minutes. Cortez is looking to do that. When you're the returning state champ, you can ride on top. He's got that 2-on-1, and he hop sides here to a half. He's got that wrist, and then now he hops over to the other side. He's got a 2-on-1 and a half, and he keeps switching off to the wrist. 15 to go. Inside leg in. Zinkin up to his feet, trying to make this a tie game.
Oh,
Zinkin,
boy, leverage here.
Reversal. Still no points.
Still no control here.
Cortez still in control. 2 seconds to go.
Yep.
Controlling the ankle, and that's going to be timeout.
Yep.
No points. Your
What a match.
champion at 129 pounds from Gilroy High School, the returning champ, Isaiah Cortez. The home crowd doesn't like it, but it is. Cortez shows up to the crowd. He shows his respects. He held up 2 fingers and he said, that's a 2-time champ, a 2-time Cowboy champ.
Great match.
It wasn't bad, though. He wasn't trying to show up the hometown fans.
No.
He looked up to the crowd. He celebrated his win. He took up 1 finger. He took up the other finger. He held up 2 fingers, and he said, I'm a 2-time champ.
Yeah.
What a match. That's going to be a battle. That's going to be a battle come February in our tournament at the state.
Great match. Well, we got another Gilroy kid coming up, as well as St. John Bosco. This is one you were talking about, Brian.
Well, you know, I was on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and you know, the Simple Man Wrestling podcast. Brian Battisto, the coach at Frontier, kind of runs it. The Granite Hill guys, you know, Sean O'Rourke and Brady Beeman, they run that podcast, and they do a great job. The Simple Man Wrestling podcast, you know, I'm not giving a shameless plug, maybe I am, but you know, it's on Spotify and YouTube. They do a phenomenal job, and they talk about wrestling. And a couple weeks ago, when they were asking me, you know, I think Nicholas Sahakian's one of the great talents to come here out of California. He's only a junior.
I know.
He's only a junior, but you also got the #1 ranked guy in the country. Goes out to who's #1 at Cody Merrill, and now he's up in weight class there. You know, you look at Sahakian weighing in at a full 275. He's probably 274, you know, underweight. But Cody Merrill's put on some weight this year and some muscle, and he's up at 250. Is he giving up 20 pounds? He might be, but this is an exciting match. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
And they have a front row view.
Oh. Some big boys.
Sahakian's a monster.
Oh.
Like, he's got to be pushing maybe, you know, at max 10% body fat.
Yeah.
Like, he's a beast. But here's Cody Merrill. You know, last year didn't make the state tournament.
Nope. He was injured, right?
Yeah.
Pulled something with his groin or
the ankle?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Was on crutches. I remember that. You know, you mentioned Sahaki, and I remember watching him here at the Doc B in 2022 as a freshman and just going, who is that kid? You know, and that was a freshman when he was making some noise here at this tournament, knocking people off, knocking off high seeds. And
you know, last year as a sophomore, he got out here and he was in the final. He was a finalist. He wrestled Jersey Rob, and that was a great match. It was like a throw attempt, and it's there. You know, but Cody Merrill going out to Oklahoma State, you know, Big 12 country out there.
Yeah.
Sahakian, you know, as a junior, he's already committed to Arizona State, going to go out there with Zeke.
Look how big that guy is.
And here's the match. Here is the match.
Holy smokes.
Can Merrill handle the size of Sahakian, but can Sahakian match the speed of Merrill?
Yeah. We'll find out.
Well, you got two returning state champs here. In reality, well, state champ. He's not a returning state champ with Merrill being out, but state champ for Merrill at 195 pounds back in 2022. And Sahakian, the state champ at 220s last year.
Second place freestyle world team trials.
Again, we're at 288 pounds. Cody Merrill of Gilroy High School taking on Nicholas Sahakian of St. John Bosco, returning finalist. And there's the speed of Merrill.
There's the speed, yep. Wow.
And there's the size and agility of Sahakian. I don't think Sahakian can wrestle from his knees here. No. The speed of Merrill. And look at the heavy hands. He's moving around a 275-pound man with good snaps.
He has finished previously as a world bronze medalist at the 2022 World Championship, 3-time Fargo champion, and 2022 state champion.
Good movement from both wrestlers right now.
Two elite schools. You know, Gilroy's had a lot of finalists, and so is St. John Bosco. To see him matched up here. The Gilroy boys went out to who's #1, and they really put on a show for sure. Merrill to win that. With Merrill up at heavyweight now, you know, his brother was the weight class below him.
Correct.
You know, I mean, they both wrestled at, you know, at Gilroy last year, but, you know, younger brother down south now, down in Riverside, California. But it almost paves the way for your brother to gain weight and to get the size as well.
Yeah.
After the first period, we're tied at 0. Merrill defers. Sahakian chooses down to start the second period.
Look how wide he is.
Unbelievable.
As a junior in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quickly up to his feet. This is going to be the challenge here for Merill, to control that weight and the agility of Sahakian. He's done real well so far. And there's the first point on the board for Nicholas.
And look at Merrill right on him. You know, he cuts him, not necessarily cuts him loose, but Sahakian gets out, and Merrill's right there in his face as far as, hey, you know, compact net space there. And I'm sure we'll see the heavy hands again here soon. Two fine athletes.
There's the speed, little snatch single by Merill, but the pure power of Sahakian to be able to reach down, grab those hands, break that lock, get that big tree trunk of a leg down to the mat. That we call that pants on position, to be able to kick that leg back down to the mat and to clear that lock for Merill.
All 129-pound medalists, please report to the medal.
A little bit of a single high C shot from Sahakian.
Please report to the medal stand now.
Got about 40 seconds here.
And so far, Sahakian's been able to kind of
30 seconds.
silence, you know, not the right word, but to handle the speed of Merill. $15 to go in the second. And we got a whistle. Not sure why, but we got a fresh start.
From their feet.
And they weren't in a tie-up, but Fisher blew the whistle. Stop action. Let's get a reset.
After two, Sahakian leads 1-0.
Wants to bring him up to his feet.
Merill chooses down, 1-point escape.
Is he going to change it? Oh, I thought for a second there he was going to change it. Is that the fear of the reversal?
Could be.
All 129-pound medalists, please report to the medal stand now.
You know, Sahakian got the escape in the second.
He looks in great shape, huh? Not breathing heavy, anything.
Not at all.
Pacing around the center of the mat.
He's got a little bit of a blood on his left arm. I don't know if that's just a scratch or some blood, but the blood time's actually here for Merill. His brother got popped in the face, you know, back in the earlier rounds, and he had it for a while. Again, we've said it all day, but the amount of work that gets put in, you know, the trainers out here that clean up the mats. You know, we had that one little incident earlier yesterday with the broken arm. Don't want to put light on the situation, but you know, the medical staff and the trainers, it truly is a team effort.
Yeah, all hands on deck. Do a good job.
We're at a 1-1 tie. You know, we got some word here from the referees out watching. I didn't see it, but it looked like there was some interlocking fingers, and that's why the official blew for that stalemate. We know it's an automatic stalemate for the interlocking fingers, but that's something I didn't see along the way. But being able to get that information relayed to us, it's much appreciated out there. Oh, there's that single leg shot attempt. Ooh, that knee's kind of at a bad position. Can Merill scoot around? And he does. There's that speed of Merill, and he takes the 3-1 lead with 35 to go. Can Sahakian get to a reversal position or a stand-up takedown here? 25 to go. that speed, that agility. Sahakian in with the shot. Merrill counters it, comes circles behind, gets his 2, and we got 10 seconds to go here in the match. Cody Merrill. And there's a stall call on Merrill, but he really doesn't care about it because he's got 2 seconds to go. And that's going to do it. Your champion at 288 pounds, returning state champion from 2 years ago from Gilroy High School, currently ranked number 1 in the state, 1 in the nation, Oklahoma commit, Cody Merrill. On a sad note, man, I don't want to see the wrestling end.
No, I don't either. I was thinking.
but I mean, we're down to our last match.
We've already wrestled 13. I'm like, come on, can we get some more in the exhibition?
And the crowd's going to go wild again for this one.
Yeah.
You know, here comes Joseph Toscano, Buchanan High School, and he's taking on a St. Ed's. You know, the people, you know, the committee that chooses the order, obviously Adam and Gabe or whoever kind of talks about that order, they always want to keep some of the local kids for the end.
Yeah.
But to be able to have a match like this, to have an out-of-state kid come in to be in the finals, I think it's fitting to have a California kid, a California hometown Clovis kid, in reality from Buchanan High School, but Clovis City,
Right.
wrestling an out-of-state St. Ed's,
Yeah.
high-level wrestling here in Ryan Bennett.
It's almost like writing the book, writing your last chapter. Like, okay, let's make this one the best chapter of the book, and here it is, right here. You know, like you said, a local kid from Buchanan and a out-of-state kid, especially not just out-of-state, but you know, Ohio. That's quite a distance to travel for a tournament, so should be a good one.
Yeah, and as well, not only a local kid, but a returning Doc B champion.
Yep.
You know, looking to get another. You know, and he's only a sophomore here, Anthony. I mean, Joey Toscano, he can wrestle. He's currently ranked number 1 in the state. He lost in the state finals last year, but currently ranked number 1 as a sophomore for Buchanan, looking to get a back-to-back titles here.
You know, 3 years ago, Toscano's name was mentioned. They said, hey, you got to see this kid wrestle at the junior high, which is out this year, intermediate. This kid Toscano's going to do something his freshman season and sophomore year as well as all 4 years in high school. I went and saw the kid. Now, obviously, you know, junior high matches, you're less amount of minutes, et cetera, but boy, I'll tell you, I was really impressed as far as watching him wrestle last year. And yeah, he's still got 3 years remaining and just he's got a bright future ahead of him.
He really does, and on both levels. You know, even on the folk style level. You know, back in 2021, he took second at the 16U Nationals. You know, at 126 pounds. You know, they went out to those Hall of Fame duels. He was 5-0. He wrestled extremely well. You know, he took first at the Zinkin a couple weeks ago here at Buchanan High School. He's the number 1 seed here, and he's taking on the number 2 seed, Ryan Bennett of St. Ed's. St. Edward High School out in Ohio. And here's the last match.
Yeah.
Here's the last match, 147 pounds. You know, they always say big athletes rise to the moment and rise to the occasion. Joey Toscano did that last year here on this same mat. Here we go, 147 pounds. Joseph Toscano of Buchanan, the returning champion here at Doc B, currently ranked number 1 in the state of California, a sophomore. And he's taking on the number 2 seed, Ryan Bennett of St. Edward, Ohio.
And he is committed to wrestle at the University of Illinois. Previous accomplishments, he's a Power 8 finalist, state runner-up in 2023, 2021 state champion, and he's a 3-time state placer. He is coached by John Heffernan, Zach Carson, Gus Seco, Evan Check, and Vin Nucci.
Trying to get a little bit of information on that. I was listening to that. It sounded like he was committed to Illinois. Is that what I heard?
That's what they said.
Yeah. It's kind of ironic, you know, obviously with the Tierpellis and their connection. And, you know, last year he was coached by Coach Flores and Coach Tierpelli. Buchanan, at least Toscano was. And now he's wrestling Ryan Bennett, heading out to Illinois.
Yeah, look at that corner for Buchanan. Is that Montalvo? Former alumni Buchanan, state champ.
It is.
Yeah, right?
It is, yeah. That's what's so cool about some of these larger programs. They, have such depth in the coaching aspect. Not necessarily familiar with some of the assistants from the out-of-state schools, but as we look over and we see returning alumni and champions, being able to sit in the chair and coach each one of their kids. It's the unselfishness of, hey, I need to sit in the chair and coach this kid.
Yeah.
You see Troy kind of, do I dare say, take a back seat?
Well, it's good when you have that trust in your assistants, just, hey, you've been working with them, you take them, sit in the corner.
Yeah. And I looked up in the crowd, there was some traveling for St. Ed. They had not only their family, I'm sure, out there, but they had some friends that travel. Nice little foot sweep from the top position from Ryan Bennett. Coach is saying, get your one, push those hips away. Got minute 15. Yeah, you don't want to go. I was just about to say, you don't want to give up the stalemate call. You did all that work. Again, last match, and you got two high-level officials. Toscano up to his feet, controlling wrists. The crowd was looking for the stall call there, but in reality, you saw that transition from Bennett. He was moving from the wrist to the hip, back to the leg. Good call by the official.
Yeah.
Now I say that he's not doing too much on top, but riding the ankle. Now he drops down to the single, but he's transitioning. He's going from the ankle. I don't think it's a stall tactic here. Now he's up on the shoulder, and Toscano's, he can't give up the position here. It's not in a neutral position. He almost gave up that back point. Now he's got to clear that leg. Can he come out the back for the two?
15 seconds. Trying to at least get one.
Again, trying to pull that.
Yeah.
And that's the right call to call the stall. Holding on to that ankle for way more than 5 seconds, and we get the stall call with 11 seconds to go in the period.
Yeah.
11 seconds remaining in the second period.
Toscano up to his feet. 5 to go in the period. Bennett takes a peek at the clock, knows that he had to have at least one return. Great mat awareness there. Ryan Bennett did something extremely smart. That's that wrestling IQ. Toscano got up to his feet. He had already been warned for stalling. He took a peek to the clock. He saw there was way more than 5 seconds. He had to have a mat return, and he got it. Toscano trying to take that leg. Defended really well by Bennett, controlling the hip, controlling the ankle. Now he's trying to get high hips here. Look how Toscano's locked himself in there. He reached down and grabbed that ankle. And that grabbing that ankle sets his hips back up on top.
Yeah.
Those are the little things that the technique, the position on the mat's going to determine what happens. He reached down, grabbed his own ankle to almost lock himself in to climb his hips.
Yeah.
And once he grabbed that ankle, he climbed his hips, got himself out of that possible danger. And he's riding out for at least another 35 seconds so far. Crowd's wanting like a huge spark, but great wrestling.
Maybe
here.
a tilt here. Look at that.
Call it. He's got one swipe.
Just got to elevate a little higher. Oh.
Can't lose him. Can't lose him here.
Uh-oh.
Great job by Bennett. 35 to go. Toscano got a little high. Didn't elevate that leg on the tilt. Bennett trying to come out the back. He's secured. He's got to clear that right hand around the body or right hand around the head. 20 to go, and there it is. There's the 2 reversal for Bennett. And our first point's put on the board. 10 to go in the period. Sandy Granby attempt by Toscano. These last 8 seconds are going to be a barn burner.
Yeah. Toscano knows where he's at.
Toscano's got to move. He's down by 2 here. Oh, going to get a little bit of a caution. Little early start by Toscano. Toscano got a little high. Bennett got the reversal. He's got a 2-0 lead with 5 seconds to go in the match. And he gives the escape. No stall call against him. He stays square, and that's going to do it. Your champion at 147 pounds from St. Edward High School in Ohio, Ryan Bennett. Hey, Anthony, thank you so much for being on the call.
Ryan, my pleasure.
Those of you out there on Flow, we want to thank you so much for watching. Big